And today we're talking to real people to get their take on home buying, his and hers style. If you were looking for a dream home, what would it just have to have?
A hot tub.
Probably a pool and a jacuzzi.
I'm in the beautiful city of La Cañada, Flintridge, California, and boy, are you in for a treat. Today's elite house tour is of this gorgeous 9,000 square foot Mediterranean estate. This impressive estate is nestled on a 1-acre lot with beautifully manicured grounds, and it truly has everything and anything you can ever dream of. Take a look at this outdoor gazebo that has it all.
You know how in the movies, how it's really cool when people are running for their lives? It's not. I could feel the heat from thousands of feet away, almost a mile away. And I decided, okay, time to go. We're out of here. By the time I got everybody packed in the car, the winds generated by the fire were blowing at close to 60 miles an hour. The air was orange. In the Charlton Heston version of the Ten Commandments, remember the parting of the Red Sea, and then Pharaoh's troops are coming down and the sea closes in on them. Well, imagine that sea closing in on the canyon, only it wasn't water, it was fire.
Cottonwoods, and it will take at least 25 years for that forest to come back. The pine trees, some of the pine trees are probably 50 years and older all along the side of the highway. Those probably won't come back. This is a souvenir from my wedding from 1959. I married my high school sweetheart. I'm 73 and don't have the energy and stamina to rebuild anything. So I have a motorhome that we bought from somebody for $400. I have little tiny pine trees about this big in the front yard of my property up there by the motorhome. So in time we'll have some pine trees come back.
Fires are big, scary, dangerous forces of nature that are way bigger than we are, and it is not reasonable for the public to expect these guys to get out in front of them. They may be portrayed as heroes in the press, and a lot of what they do is heroic, but they cannot deploy to your house faster than a speeding bullet. They can't, leap tall buildings in a single bound, dragging hose behind them all the way, and they can't get out in front of 25-foot flame lengths in an ember spot 1.5 miles ahead of a fire and put it out with a hose and shovels, and they'll die if they try.
Has a fire really raged through that area before, or this be the first time, too, in decades that this area is burned?
Well, this is they're saying it's the first time in decades that the fire actually went through there, but we had a fire probably, I can't remember it. It was maybe early 70s.
There's places that burn repeatedly. They're very dangerous. In 2003, we had dozens of homes that had burned in 1970 in a Laguna fire. Same home, of course, had been rebuilt. Why did that happen?
The day I'm signing an executive order directing CAL FIRE to immediately mobilize more personnel, more engines, more helicopters, and more planes.
Eisenhower talked about the military industrial complex. There's a fire industrial complex. It's huge. It's a huge money business. Huge.
More engines, more helicopters, and more planes.
there's a lot of lobbying to get bigger planes, more retardant, more fuel treatments, more equipment, more et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We've consistently failed to be able to stop these fires. So at some point, I'm hoping the bureaucracy and the politicians will realize that this massive influx of money isn't doing what it's supposed to be doing, namely protecting lives and property.
Just hours after Governor Schwarzenegger signed the executive order bolstering the state's fire preparedness, a wildfire was sparked outside the coastal community of Santa Barbara. Fanned by gusty sundowner winds, high temperatures, and dry conditions, the fire quickly consumed over 8,700 acres and destroyed 80 homes.
Homes burn because they're flammable. And they're flammable because of a couple of reasons. One, they're made out of flammable materials, or they're in a position that they can't help it. You put a house in a fire corridor, it's like a bowling alley. Embers are going to nail it, and the thing's going to be taken out. So we have the knowledge now and the technology to find these places, and just don't allow building there.
I know that if the developers had their way, they would come all the way up to the forest line, because their entire be-all and end-all is they want to build, and basically suck out as much money as they can.
You don't allow people to build now on an earthquake fault. We used to. So the same thing with fire corridors. We just have got to get out of that mindset that we can build anywhere, and fire's right on the same categories, earthquakes and floods.
Man has never found a way to control the force of wildfire. A blow-up, the scientists say, is comparable to the explosion of a 20-kiloton bomb. Its temperatures ultimately rise to 3,500 degrees. Its winds can reach the force of a tornado.